All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Wolfe, and I'm the education manager at the Adventure Group. But today, I really am excited about today's webinar, Thinking Forward, because we're going to be talking about a variety of different career paths, and you can choose after you graduate. And we just wanted to give you some options that you can do and you can think about after you graduate high school. And as you're thinking about graduating high school, there are a number of very legitimate opportunities that you can consider, as each one can lead to a great career path. Ultimately, you have to think about your life goals, your interests, how you like to learn, and what motivates you, and what financial realities you face, and what type of work you see yourself doing. Do you see yourself sitting behind a desk and working on a computer? Do you see yourself building things, working with people, working outside? And the list goes on, but the list needs to be tailored towards what your needs are and what you want to do in your career path. So I'm going to highlight a few different options to consider after high school, and some of them can lead to a lifetime career, and some of them will be a stepping stone into another career. But each should be considered in trying to figure out what your next step could be as you graduate high school. So on this next slide, we're going to look at a variety of different options. Our first course we're going to look at is trade school certificates, trade schools and certificates. We're also going to look at apprenticeships, military, workforce and entrepreneurship, community colleges, four-year colleges and universities. And also, we're going to also look at leadership skills for the future. And so our first slide, our first option is we're going to look at trade schools and certificates. Now, if you're a current simulated workplace student, you might already have earned your certificate in your specific industry. But trade schools can train students for a variety of skilled jobs. The reality is that there are literally millions of jobs, millions of people who work in skilled labor jobs, and they're paid pretty well, especially compared to a four-year college graduate. Some trade schools help students find prospective employers and help you apply for jobs. Some of the specific career options that trade schools offer: construction, welding, culinary arts, electrician, dental assistant, mechanic, masonry, truck driver, and medical assistant. Now, these are just to name a few options that trade schools have to offer and provide for you for whatever you want to do for your next step. But in addition, you're almost guaranteed a job when you're coming out of school because companies can't find people to fill these positions. So as we move on to the next slide, we're going to look at while many of these schools are reputable and teach the skills necessary to get a good jobs, other trade schools are not equal. Others may not be. They may promise more than they can deliver to increase enrollment or pad their bottom line. And so it's a good idea to do some homework before you apply and before you commit to a program within a trade school. Now, here are some things you can look for in a trade school: what the facilities look like. It is really important to find out as much information about the school's facilities and what they have to offer you. And what does the school provide? Like, do you have to supply, or do you have to buy tools and supplies before you go? And the instructors, who are the instructors? Ask about their qualifications. Also, ask about the class size. What is the program success rate? This is a good idea for the program success rate to look at the completion rate, the job placement, and also if you know somebody, the student's experience, if you know a student or you know someone personally about that's gone through the program, reach out to them and talk to them and see, well, what their experience was like. Was it worth it? Also, you should look at what's the total cost that you're going to have to pay. And one of the most important things is the trade school, is it licensed or accredited? So now we're going to look at apprenticeships. And apprenticeships bridge the gap between work and school. An apprenticeship is a way to learn a valued trade through structured on-the-job training. But the cool thing is you get paid for it as you do it. And there are some benefits that happen because of trade schools or because of apprenticeships. Some of the benefits that come with it: improved skills and competencies that meet specific employer needs, wage increases as your skill increases, on-the-job training. You also get industry-issued, nationally recognized credentials. And so to start looking for apprenticeships, there are a few ways you can start. One of them is a great place to start is Workforce West Virginia. This will give you access to work opportunities and current apprenticeships in West Virginia. And Workforce West Virginia is a resource that provides expert guidance and support as you search the right career path. By enrolling, you will have access to the statewide network of apprenticeships and also jobs within your area and within the state. Another resource for looking for apprenticeships is through West Virginia Apprenticeship. This is an online resource that promotes and provides current information on different apprenticeships within the state of West Virginia. A list of apprenticeship programs that they highlight on their website: boilermakers, bricklayers, carpenters, cement masons, electricians, insulators, iron workers, operating engineers, plumbing and pipe fitters, roofers, and sheet metal workers. And these are all highlighted on the website, and there's places you can apply directly on that website for each individual industry. The third option that we're going to look at to look for apprenticeships is a Career One Stop. Now, this is a government website that connects you with employers that have sponsored apprenticeships in your state and your area. This is an online resource. Will direct you to a variety of different trainings and jobs around your area. As we move to the next slide, another option that we're going to look at is you can actually go to specific union sites. You can also research different specific union sites and apply for each apprenticeships directly on that website. A couple of the websites that we found, a couple of unions that we found: carpentry, electrical, plumbing, ironwork, and heavy equipment operation. Now, these are all great resources, and they have specific skills. And so whatever one you want to pursue, you can log on to their website and find out how to apply for different apprenticeships within their program. So now, as we move on to the questions, it's a good idea to reach out to these organizations to find out more information about the program. And here are some great questions to ask when you connect or contact that organization. Now, the first thing: are you currently accepting applications? And if so, where can I apply? When does the next class start? Is there a deadline to enroll? Do I have to live in the specific area? And what are the requirements for the program? And how long is the training program? Now, reaching out and talking to these organizations is a great first step in networking yourself and looking for and finding out more information about different apprenticeships within the area. Another option that we're going to look at is looking into the military. Now, joining the armed forces allows you to discover skills, serve your country, and gain job training. While it does require some time commitment, it offers some great benefits. Some of the benefits that are associated with the military: job security. You get a full-time salary when you're in the military. Also, education. If you decide to go back to college, you can use the GI Bill to help you pay, if not all or part of your education. Travel. When you're traveling within the military, at military duties, you generally do not have to pay for airline or hotel expenses. Training. Depending on your job, you'll be given advanced training for your new occupation. Housing. When you're living on base, typically you don't have to pay for housing. And medical, you get free medical. And retirement. If you go to work for the government after you leave the military, you'll get veterans preference when hiring. Also, many businesses choose former military members because of their training that they received in the military. But there are some requirements that you have to join the military. And one, you have to be 18 years old. And if you're not 18, you have to have a parent consent. You must be a U.S. resident, and you have to have a high school degree is strongly desired. And you got to pass the ASVAB test, and you need to pass a physical. Now, within the military, there's a full-time and a part-time positions in the military. Active duty service members are full-time members of the military, and they're employed either domestically, that's in the country, or overseas. In the part-time, within the part-time the service options, there are two choices, either reserve or National Guard. These service members they have regular jobs within the community, but they also train one weekend out of a month, and they usually train locally within the area that they live in. So you have plenty of options when you think about the 5 branches of the U.S. Armed Service: Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. Each has a unique mission with different skills associated with each branch. Now, you need to do research on what branch fits your needs and your career path that you would like to pursue. And you can either go to the website, or you can also go to a military recruiter and talk to somebody to find out more information that best fits your needs in your career. Our next option we're going to look at is looking at the workforce. If more schooling isn't right for you, then going straight into workforce can be a rewarding path. Work can also provide a great option for you when you're trying to figure out what your next step can be. In the right situation, it can provide a great career by getting your foot in the door and having opportunities within a company. Work can also provide clarity on what you want to do next in your career path, as life can also be the best motivating to drive you to figure out what you want to do next. If you have a job lined up right now, that's awesome. You're on the right path. But if you need help finding work, then registering with the Workforce West Virginia is a great first step in gaining employment. As I mentioned before, in the apprenticeship is a great resource to find apprenticeships, but also it gives a lot of support and guidance as you're trying to find jobs. It provides support throughout the entire job hunting process. The other thing that you can look at is individually. What can you do individually to look for a job? Well, first, you need to write your resume. You can also check with your guidance office and check for job opportunities that they have. You can search online for jobs. And you can outreach by talking to the people in the community, friends, neighbors, network yourself. Tell people that you are looking for a position, looking for a job, looking for work. That's the best way to get a position as well. You can also research companies within your area that you would like to work for. And you should also look for companies that provide growth opportunities that you can grow into that company instead of always staying in the same entry-level position. And when you do get that interview, you need to dress appropriately and be flexible. Another option that you can have within the workforce is being an entrepreneur. Now, a simple definition of an entrepreneur is a person who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business. But entrepreneurs do so much more. An entrepreneur is a person who identifies a community need and creates an innovative solution to meet that need. And this is usually in the form of a business. Entrepreneurship is vital to communities because the more small businesses you have in a community, the stronger the community will be. And this also provides competition, and that also helps out the consumers. Overall, entrepreneurs provide a spark needed to drive economic development and economic strength. Now, if you have an idea or a marketable skill that your community needs, instead of waiting for somebody to hire you, you can try to start your own business, try to meet that need. Our next option that we're going to look at is community colleges. And a two-year community college may be a great option for obtaining an associate's degree or a certificate in a specific field. Now, there's a variety of benefits on a community college, and one of the benefits is perhaps that matters most is that it only takes 2 years to get your associate's degree, and then you're in the workforce quicker. It also costs less. A community college degree costs less compared to a 4-year degree. If your career goals require some education, community college can provide the support needed to be successful because they do have smaller class sizes that provided a better transition for students entering the college setting. Now, also, community college provide growing jobs. In the next decade, some of the fastest growing jobs will only require a certificate or an associate's degree. Now, these are not necessarily low-paying jobs. They're the list of 40 high-paying career jobs that do not require a 4-year degree are very diverse and vast. And so looking into different degrees that only need associate's degree or a certificate can be a lucrative career path. The next option that we're going to look at, and the final option we're going to look at, is a 4-year college or university. Now, this is a great choice for you if you have a clear goal in your head and you know what you want to study, or at least you know what your main interests are. An advantage of going to a traditional 4-year school is it prepares you for a wide range of professional careers. Now, for some professionals, like the STEM fields, college is absolutely the right choice because you need a bachelor's degree or higher to be qualified to enter that career path. But as you think about this, there are a lot of variables when deciding on a 4-year degree. The cost of earning a degree from a 4-year college fluctuates between different criteria of schools. Now, public or private makes a big difference. Large or small, what they have to offer. But bottom line, you should definitely shop around and see what's out there and what's going to cost you. Now, as we're looking at costs, we're going to move on to paying for school. And this can be so overwhelming, and a good place to start is filling out the FAFSA form. FAFSA is officially known as the free application for federal student aid. It is the form that you need to fill out to apply for federal grants, loans, and work study, and is administered by the U.S. Department of Education. Now, FAFSA provides information regarding 2 things: federal grants, which you don't have to pay back, and federal loans, which you do. And so there's a big difference there. And whether you get a grant or a loan will generally be based on your financial need. And this is determined on the information that you supplied on your form when you filed it. Now, you can find out more information on FAFSA by going to the website, and you can just Google FAFSA to find more information. Now, on this slide, I provided 2 websites to help you through this process. The first website gives you things that you need to do before you fill out your form or file. And then the second one is what you can do after you apply. It gives you suggestions. These are just guides and tips to help you through the process, because it can be overwhelming trying to apply for different funding for applying for or for paying for school. As we move on to the next slide, we're going to look at another option that you can look at, and that's scholarships. Now, scholarships are a great way to pay for schools, but you have to do a little research and a little digging to find specific scholarships that meet the needs of your career path. So now, a scholarship is money that is provided that you don't have to pay back. It helps you pay for school and supplies needed to be in school. And again, you do not have to pay scholarships back. And there are 2 links that I provided. The first one gives you scholarship tips and basic understanding of where to find scholarships and how to apply for them. And the second one is through the Simulated Workplace website. And this gives you scholarship opportunities that are available in and around the area that you can apply for schooling. So as we move on to the last slide, we're going to look at skills needed for the workforce of tomorrow. And thinking forward to the workplace of tomorrow, when making the decision today, is important on what type of career you want to embark on. Based on today's changing environment, there are a variety of essential leadership skills needed to be successful in the future. Now, we're going to look at a few of these skills and what's really needed in the future. And the first one is fearless agility. And this just means that in the future, just like now, but also in the future, the speed of the market and technology will continue to accelerate or get faster in the future. And leaders need to make quick and decisive decisions in a fast-paced environment to be successful. Another skill that needs to be done, not only a leader, but in the workforce, is respect. Leaders and employees must be diligent to earn respect. And people need to hold themselves responsible and accountable so they can influence those around them. And it's basically leading by example. Empathy is another skill that needs to happen in the future to be successful. And that's the ability to understand the people that you lead and bringing them together. It's putting their needs first, or understanding their needs so you can lead those people. Another one is selflessness, the ability to put other people's needs in front of your own and encouraging them to do better. Flexibility is another skill, and this is crucial not only in today's world, but also in the future, because you need to adapt to the ever-changing world. And this is through technology, through different markets, through different advancements, but changing and being flexible is key. Another one is to have a clear vision, and this seeing a vision and making it a reality, but also being adaptable and flexible and understanding that don't get stuck on that one vision, but make sure you adjust to reach that vision. Soft skills, that's communication. That's being able to be a good listener and a public speaker. Authenticity is being real, not fake. Humility is to be modest with your value and not viewing yourself as the most important person, but encouraging others to shine around you. And the last one that we look at, the skill that really needs to be emphasized, is leading through change. And change is hard for most of us, but leaders or employees need to be good at executing change efficiently. By having those others around you be innovative, you need to lead through change. Now, these are just skills that you should start thinking about, because in the future, it's going to look definitely different than it does now. And understanding that these skills that these skills are needed for the workforce is very important, and things you should think about as you move forward in your career path. So now the last thing we're going to talk about is the assignment. And so what I want you to do. And so right now we're going to look at, I want you to answer three questions. And it is, what is your vision for your future career? And what are 3 steps you can take towards that vision? And then the last one is, which pathway did we discuss that makes the most sense to accomplish your vision? So, and those are, you can complete that on a Google form. And also, if you have any questions, you can email me at mwolfe@edvgroup.org. And again, this is, I hope that you got something out. I hope you were able. I really wish you good luck in your decision on your next step of what you're going to do after high school, because this is a very pivotal time in your career. So understanding different career options gives you a better decision to make for your career path in the future. So I appreciate your time, and good luck.